Every single review just gives you a bunch of different features and you are still absolutely confused which is the best choice for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you just the very specific features that you actually need to pay attention to understand which is the best choice for you based on your specific case. And on top of that, I have some discounts and crazy bonuses if you use my affiliate links, so check out all of the links in the description.
When it comes to Brevo automations, they have most of the basic stuff that you will need, and one thing I do like is that they also have some pre-built automations. Nothing crazy, just some of these basic things, but pretty much you will find everything you need, like the multi-trigger workflows, emails open, page visited, if-else branching. It combines basically marketing, transactional emails. So it's nothing crazy advanced, but it has all of the basic stuff you will need. It's an 8 out of 10.
By the way, I have created a document of 50 best growth hacks used by the biggest marketers out there. Check the link below.
When it comes to ease of use and interface, it's pretty clean, well organized, clear navigation between email, SMS, and CRM features if this is what you're going to be using, and I'll discuss this later as well. I would say it's slightly more technical than MailerLite or even ConvertKit, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10, but it's still beginner friendly.
By the way, I created a blueprint for the best business model out there, so check the description.
For landing pages, they have drag and drop builder. They have all the custom sections, countdowns, product embeds. There's A/B testing included in higher tier plans. I will say it's an okay drag and drop designer. I'm not crazy about it, and the templates are sort of okay as well, so it's somewhere between 7 and 8 out of 10. When it comes to forms, they have all the embeds, pop-ups, triggering automations. It's easy to set up. Design-wise, customization is not super advanced, especially that if we compare it to dedicated form tools, but it's still pretty decent for email marketing software. It's an 8 out of 10. For newsletter designer, it's pretty smooth drag and drop builder. Nothing too crazy. I would say I like some of the other drag and drop builders a little bit more. It does support some personalization, conditional visibility, dynamic content. There's A/B testing for subject lines and the message content, but it's really somewhere between 7 and 8 out of 10. When it comes to e-commerce, you have integrations with Shopify, WooCommerce, all of these. There's a good amount of different integrations. They have features like abandoned cart recovery, product recommendations, purchase-based segmentation. It supports transactional emails, SMS, and WhatsApp notifications, but I'll tell you more about this when it comes to pricing. In general, it's not too bad for a software that's not specifically made for e-commerce, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. When it comes to AI features, they have AI assistant for subject lines and copy generation. Predictive send time optimization is in beta now, so it's not as advanced as some of the other tools that have been doing this for a long time, and there's no AI driven automation creation yet, so it's just a 7 out of 10. Some unique features. So first of all, they have this sort of email, SMS, WhatsApp, and a chat all combined together. However, I'll show you in pricing what that means as well, because unless you go with crazy expensive pricing, it might mean that you're actually not able to use these features. So most likely you're actually only going to be able to use the email and SMS, which is something that most of the softwares provide one way or another. Another unique feature is that they do have built-in CRM and deal pipelines. So this is something that's unique, and you don't find it on as many email marketing softwares. But again, when it comes to pricing, I'll show you need to pay extra for this. And they do have some advanced contact scoring, reports, things like that. Again, that's kind of part of the CRM.
Brevo pricing is honestly kind of strange and pretty annoying. So
First of all, they actually have this free plan, and it's even 300 emails per day. However, this really has basically no features. So honestly, as a free plan, I would not advise to go with Brevo. There are way better free plans with other softwares. Now, you are going to go either with the starter plan or the standard plan. And there's the professional. I'll explain the difference and what you really need to understand. First of all, the starter plan, this is why I don't understand some of this stuff, is because you get very basic features. So for example, if you will want email marketing automation, which you obviously will want, if you will want A/B testing, all of these super important things, advanced email reporting and all of that, none of that is included in the starter plan. You will need to go with the standard plan. So that's something you need to understand. Another really thing that I don't really like is that they don't charge per subscribers, but they charge per emails sent. So it kind of depends, obviously, like how many emails you send. Maybe this is going to make sense for you. But so let's say if you have 10,000 subscribers, 10 emails per subscriber, 100,000 emails, and this is on the low end. You can definitely be sending way more than that. So for this, the price is $70 a month, which is not bad. However, keep in mind, again, you might hit this threshold. So this might be, when you reach whatever, let's say 7,000 subscribers. And another thing here is you have branding. So if you want to get rid of that, you'll need to pay additional $12 a month. And then if you want the sales features, so sales automations, pipelines, all of this, the chat bots, all of these things that are more unique, this is additional feature. So in here, as you can see, you will need to be paying $31 extra per month. So that's 112. One thing to note here as well is if I'm going above it, I need to switch to the standard plan. And as I said, the standard plan is this one that really has all the features that you will need. The starter plan, I don't think it's really possible to work with that. So in here, let's say if I choose 100,000 emails, that's going now to be $130 a month. So the price increases quite a bit. And as I said, it might be somewhere between 100,000, 150,000. So this is $170, depending how many emails you're going to send for the amount of the subscribers that you have. Again, if you want all of the sales stuff, you'll need to add that as additional. Then it becomes $200 a month. And if you will want to go with the professional plan, where this is where you really get a lot of stuff. So as you can look, additional marketing channels like the WhatsApp, pop-ups, mobile push notifications, contact scoring, advanced e-commerce features, AI segmentation. Actually, these are really important features, and some of these features you get on other software normal plans, but here you need to go with professional, which is $500 per month, which is absolutely crazy. So in here, it starts from 150,000 emails, and that gives you that costs $500 per month, and then there are some upsells here as well. And they do have, by the way, their SMS marketing. Let me see. So they have prepaid emails, but this is pretty expensive, honestly. And you have the text messages depending on where you're sending. So here it's like 10,000 is $109. Also WhatsApp. But again, you need to realize that you will need a specific plan to be even able to use this. So who is Brevo best for? It can work really for any business as a general email marketing software, but really I would only suggest it if you really need some deal pipelines and you want the chat. But also I did show you that you need to pay extra or go on this crazy expensive plan. So there might be also better options for you of actual CRM tool or all-inclusive tool. But this is the only reason I would say that maybe I would consider going with this software. So that's just one thing to consider. When it comes to Mailchimp automations, it has all of sort of the main automations that you will need. So all the basic things like purchases, link clicks, tagging. However, important thing is that split testing is only available for campaigns, no deep inside automation flows, which is really a huge thing that you will need, a huge downside. Another thing is there's no true multi-trigger automations. So again, something that might really affect your email campaigns. So honestly, I'm not very impressed compared to other tools. It's only a 6 out of 10. When it comes to ease of use, I would say that it's pretty polished interface. It looks pretty nice. They have some guides how to set up. However, the dashboard can be a little bit busy, especially for beginners. And it's just kind of like a little bit overwhelming. It takes some time to get used to it, so it's a 7 out of 10. When it comes to landing pages, they do have quite a few modern templates. They have a drag and drop builder. It even supports A/B testing. However, that is only on the higher plans, something to keep in mind. And it's a little bit limited in terms of customization compared to actual page builders or even some of the other page builders in email marketing tools. So it's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to forms, you get all of the embeds, pop-ups available with different styling options, the editor. It integrates directly within automations and tags. The only downside here really is that they have fewer templates and it's just a little bit limited visually how much basically you can design it yourself, how many things you can adjust. So it's a 7 out of 10. When it comes to newsletter designer, it's pretty versatile, a lot of different templates, brand kit, dynamic content support, built-in A/B testing for subject lines as well, send times, and content blocks, kind of like all of the stuff that you will need and then you will most likely find on other tools as well. Nothing crazy, but nothing bad either. It's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to e-commerce, a store, they have integrations with Shopify, WooCommerce, Stripe. I would say quite a few different integrations. They provide simple things like abandoned cart recovery, product recommendations, purchase tagging, and you have built-in store option as well if you want to sell some digital or physical products. Obviously, I would just suggest to use a tool separately for that, but it's not too bad in terms of e-commerce. It's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to AI features, they have some copywriting assistant. This is mostly for subject lines and body tags. This is what most email marketing softwares have. They do have now some predictive segmentation, but this is still very much in beta and I wouldn't rely on it too much. Send time optimization, which is kind of nice, and a lot of other email marketing tools have some content suggestions. No AI driven automations yet. So not very advanced, but just because they have this beta here, I will give them an 8 out of 10. When it comes to unique features, I wouldn't say there's anything unique per se. The only thing I can think of is that they also provide some social posting and sort of like ad creation stuff and postcard marketing. But honestly, I would just keep in mind that are you actually going to use these different tools, because they're not very advanced if compared to like if you're just using let's say social media scheduler by itself. So this is kind of unique, but maybe not actually useful.
When it comes to Mailchimp pricing, so first of all, they do have completely free plan, and by the way, there's a few very important things here I will explain. But the free plan is actually only up to 500 subscribers, and you can only send 1,000 emails. But honestly, you can't do any automations. It's missing all of the important features. Honestly, it's really a useless plan. I don't think you should. If you're going to go for a free plan, don't go with Mailchimp. You can't do anything really. Even if you're gonna go with Mailchimp, you're gonna start with a paid plan. So for paid plans, few very important things. So first of all, this seems very cheap right now, but this is because they just have this 50% discount for the first year. I don't know if it's just a promo right now, but as you can see, the real price is $110 a month for 10,000 subscribers on essential plan, and standard plan is $135 and premium is $350. And let me tell you a couple of important things. So this might seem okay, it's not too bad, $110. However,
when you look at the different automation flows, this only provides up to 4 flow steps, which honestly, most likely you will run out very quick. And actually, when it comes to all of these other features that are super important, when it comes to like the automations, the sending, advanced segmentations, the essential plan doesn't include any of that. So really, you're not going to go with essential plan. You're going to go with either the standard or you're going to go with a premium plan. So the premium plan is 135, which is a little bit more on the expensive side. And another thing here is that you're limited how many emails you can send. So you can send 120,000 emails, 12 emails per contact, which means that you might run out of the emails sent before you run out of contacts. So if you have 10,000 subscribers, you actually might need to get a plan for 15,000 to be able to send 18 emails per basically one subscriber. And then the prices you can see increases to 230, so it increases quite a lot. And honestly, when it comes to the features, this price tag is really quite a lot for considering all of the different features that you get and you don't get. I would say that it's really overpriced. I think Mailchimp is just the oldest software out there. It's the biggest known name. That's why they can really overcharge you by quite a lot. Really, this is probably, I would say, the worst value for money that you can get when it comes to pricing. So who is it best for? Honestly, I really don't understand why people use Mailchimp. For me, compared to all of the other email marketing softwares, it's way overpriced and it's actually more expensive and gives you worse features than other email marketing softwares. So I don't understand. I think it's just the oldest and the biggest tool. Hence, it's still very popular because a lot of people just have heard of Mailchimp and they just sign up for it. But honestly, there are other tools that are much better and much cheaper.
By the way, I have also made an ultimate video comparing all of the different softwares, so go check that out, link in description. And don't forget, I have special discounts and crazy bonuses if you use my affiliate link. So if you enjoyed this, check out all of those links.